All right, guys, new episode this week. We put out on Instagram asking what you wanted to see this week, and a lot of people were saying that they wanted to see a full day of open prep. So today, what the day is going to look like, we're just going to kind of run through, I guess, a day in the life, if you want to call it, of right now, what prepping for the open looks like. I get questions quite a bit on what I'm doing for work outside of training and all that. Pretty much right now, my entire day from when I wake up to when I go to bed, I'm focusing on training and with the hopes of competing this next year. It's about 8:30 right now. So usually every day I get up somewhere around 8 to 8:30, and then all the way up until 6 p.m. the whole day is kind of filled with just training and recovering. For work right now, I'm doing a little bit of online coaching just to cover a little bit of expenses that I do have. But other than that, my full time is directed towards training and recovering. And today's episode, you're going to get to see kind of an inside look of all that today. All right, so like I said, it's just around 8:30 in the morning right now. First thing I do when I wake up, I come out into the garage right now. This is the routine. I usually throw the heater on because we start training around just after 10 o'clock. So I just want the gym to be warm by the time that we get in here. I also just throw the workout up on the board so that way when we come in, it's ready to go. So we're going to go inside now. We're going to eat some breakfast. You're going to get to see all of the eating today, all of the recovery stuff, and everything that happens outside of the gym also, all the way until 6 o'clock tonight. All right, so I just got back in from setting up the garage for training today. Heater's on, workouts written up on the board. Usually right now I got about a 45-minute window to eat breakfast and then do some other stuff before the time takes me to 9:30. So at 9:30, that's when the hour of bodywork is going to start. We're going to be doing that next. And then after that hour of bodywork, that's going to take me into the first training session. Usually right now I'll have a quick breakfast and then I'll look at what I'm going to be doing in training this morning and make some notes on anything that I want to focus on. So what that might look like, if today for example has dumbbell snatching within one of the workouts. If last week I noticed when I was dumbbell snatching I was a little bit too rounded, using too much of my back and not using enough of my legs, well, I made a note of that on my off day on Sunday, and I'm going to make sure that on today's dumbbell snatches I'm making improvements in that area. So after breakfast, I'll look at that, take some notes, and then bring that in with me when I go into the garage. First breakfast is usually pretty simple for me. Some toast, some fruit, and then I try to have a vegetable with each meal. We'll pop up on the screen right now what the full day of my macros look like, so how much I'm eating, and then we'll try and just show you a quick snapshot of each meal throughout the day. All right, so we just finished up with breakfast and chilling out for a bit just to let the food digest. We're about to roll into the first bodywork session of the day. It's 9:30 right now. Each one usually lasts about an hour, and I'll do 3 of them typically every single day. 1 in the morning before training, 1 after my first training session, and then 1 after my final training session in the day. And that's usually the last thing I do before I kick my feet up for the rest of the day. Morning one is usually more prehab stuff. It's going to be centered around what I have in my first training session. So obviously that's what you're going to see now. All this stuff here is kind of what I have at my disposal for everything that I use on a daily basis for recovery. I try to spend a lot of time doing this stuff at home just because as someone who doesn't make a big income with work right now, I don't have the money to put towards going to see a physio or a chiropractor or massage therapist weekly. Like a lot of people who train at the amount of volume of a athlete, they usually go and see someone for bodywork. I try to do all the stuff I can at home. But yeah, so we'll roll into this first bodywork session. All right, so we just finished up with the morning body session. We're heading into the gym now, just a couple minutes before 10:30. Training's already written up on the board like we mentioned before. Since today's video is more about the entire day, we're not going to spend too much time focusing on telling you about each piece of training and showing each piece. we'll quickly just brief through everything we have, and then you'll just see a little bit of everything, but again, not like the other episodes where we focus solely on the training. I mentioned before, in the morning I usually kind of pick 3 things that I want to focus on throughout the session. Those 3 things for today, one being the first piece we're going to be doing is some split jerk work. Last time we did split jerks, I felt a little bit unstable in my catch position, so that's going to be one thing I'm focusing on today, is pausing in that catch position and just focusing more on balance. The second one being, there are some strict handstand push-ups in the workout today. Last time I did strict handstand push-ups, they felt better midway through the workout than they did at the beginning. So for me, that tells me I probably wasn't warmed up enough for them. So really focusing on warming up my shoulders before starting the strict handstand push-up. And then the final one I actually mentioned already this morning was, after watching some video, the dumbbell snatch technique I was using last time, I was using too much of my back. And today I want to focus a little bit more on using my legs, so that way I don't fry my back in that movement. All right, so just finished up with training session number 1. I'm gonna get a quick meal in now before we head off to the pool. Because it is a swim day today and the turnaround's pretty quickly, I'll probably have a little bit of a smaller meal than I'm used to having at this time. So for the meal number 2, this would be, just got some white rice and then some ground turkey and some roasted peppers. Gonna have that together, and then also got a shake here that I'm just gonna be bringing with me to the pool. It'll be blended up once it's done. I'm just gonna bring this to the pool, and as soon as I finish swimming, I'll have that down. So gonna eat some of this, quickly do probably about close to an hour of body work right now, and then head straight to the pool, and then we'll check back into the pool. All right, so we just got to the pool, finished up the eating, finished up the second bodywork session. We got a quick pool session now, somewhere around 1K worth of intervals, and then hopefully we're gonna have enough time at the end to hop into the hot tub, and then we'll recheck in with you then. All right, so we're just about to start the swim workout. Please don't roast me too hard about my technique or the swim cap. Please and thank you. So we finished up the warm-up. I had some 50-meter repeats for the warm-up. We're gonna go into a 200-meter interval now, and we're gonna be timing this and then using that as a benchmark for some swimming intervals coming up in the future.
Nice. Hit up the hot tub?
Oh yeah, quick cool down, then hot tub time. Alright, so just finished up with the swim workout. We're in the hot tub now. Bulk of the workout was, we had some warm-up stuff first to do, some 50-meter lengths, focusing on technique. And then the main focus was we had a 200-meter interval for time today, just to base off some of our intervals that are going to be coming in the future weeks. So yeah, it went a lot better than expected. We'll probably go into detail a little bit when we're outside just because it's a little bit louder in here. But for now, we're just going to chill in the hot tub and recover after that. All right, so we just finished up with the swim workout. Heading home now. Swim workout went actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The main part of the workout, like we said before, was a 200-meter interval for time. We're going to be using that time just to base off some of our intervals that we'll be doing in the future weeks. I know for most people, swimming 200 meters doesn't sound like a big deal, but for me, only as recent as a couple years ago, I literally didn't even know how to swim more than 25 meters without having to grab onto the wall. So to confidently swim the 200 meters, get all the way through that without having to rest was a big deal for me today. We're going to head home now. I'm going to eat another meal, have the shake that we mentioned before the training, and then do another hour of body work, and then have a couple more meals after that. So we'll check in a bit. All right, so finished up with the last bodywork session. Got 2 meals left today. Like I said before, had the post-workout shake after the swimming session. The remainder of the ground turkey that I had for the first meal, we're throwing that in a couple wraps here, so you can just have a look at that. And then some vegetables, also some green beans and broccoli, just boiling those. And then probably gonna have one more meal after I finish this one. All right, guys, thanks for tuning into this week's episode. It's a little bit different than all the episodes that we shot in the previous weeks. This one was a little bit more of an inside look, kind of day in the life, everything that happens outside of the gym, also with the inside of the gym. We rushed kind of between everything that was going on throughout the day. So if there's anything specific within the episode that you want to see more detail in, we could do that in the coming episodes. Just let us know. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.